Hi, good morning from Odessa. Gorgeous day outside again, autumnal, not a cloud in the sky, and perfect weather to go on a little bit of a trip. Today, Tania and I are heading up northwest to Lviv, which is quite close to the Polish border and not too far from the Carpathian Mountains. It's a gorgeous city, very sort of Hanseatic looking, not at all like sort of a traditional Ukrainian city, and not at all like Odessa, very sort of polar opposites. And we're going to spend 4 days up there, and we're also going to go on down to Truskowitz, which is a spa resort which is famous for its mineral waters, and spend a couple of days there. And then we'll return to Lviv, where I will stay on, and I will shoot some video. Whilst we're together there, I'll just shoot stills photography, but we're going to take you along on the trip, and you can see me shooting the stills, and then later you can see me shooting the video. But the first part of any trip, of course, is packing, and for a photographer that can be a bit of a nightmare, deciding what to take, what to leave. And today I'm going to take you on that little bit of a trip, going through what I'm packing in my bag and what I'm going to leave at home. So come along with me. So we'll start off with the camera bags. This is going to be my main travel bag. It's a Kase Logic. I bought it in Lisbon a couple of years ago, and it's just the perfect size. It fits for hand baggage, which is always a bit of a nightmare. If you go too big and your hand baggage is stopped, you're going to have to pay extra or transfer a lot of stuff to a smaller bag. But it's also light and it's comfortable, and it packs a fair amount in it. Also, I will take this bag with me as well. This is my Low Pro messenger style bag. It's a sort of reporter's style bag. This is a great bag for just going out in the day with a camera and a couple of lenses, not worrying about tripods and stuff like that. It's light, it's an over the shoulder type bag, and it's really handy. And it's also useful to pack things into it to go in the main suitcase when I'm actually going on a trip. So this one will actually be the one that's on my back whenever I go, and that one will be in the suitcase, ready for being used on a day trip. So let's have a quick look at what we've already got in here. This is my Fujifilm 18 to 55mm. This is a kit lens, but it's actually a damn good kit lens, really sharp, and it's a all metal construction, and I think if you buy them without the camera they're about £400 or £500, so they're not cheap. They're high quality kit lenses, and perfect for a standard zoom. It's a little bit slower than the 2.8, but it starts off at 2.8 at the 18 and ends up I think at about 3.5 at the 55, so a very good lens. Also coming with me is my 55 to 200. Now I love this lens, particularly for video. The reason being that a lot of video these days, a lot of video stock is shot on smartphones or on gimbals, and for that reason most of it is wide angle or at most standard lens, nifty 50s, because you can't balance long lenses very easily on gimbals, and certainly smartphones don't have long lenses at all. So in this case I tend to use this a lot because it makes my video stock stand out a fair bit from the crowd. It makes it somewhat different, you know, using a long lens, compressed perspective, movement coming into the shot, moving out of the shot, all looks really good with this nice long lens. So the camera that actually goes with these two lenses is my Fuji X-T4. I bought this back in June as a replacement for my X-T2, which I still have. It's a brilliant hybrid camera, 24 megapixel X-Trans 4 sensor, which is giving really nice quality color, beautiful sharp results, and also shoots fantastic video, 4K 60p, which is really nice. And on it at the moment is my favorite lens, which is actually the 14mm wide angle 2.8, which is about the equivalent of a 21mm on full frame. And on it I have a Peak Design strap, which I use when I'm actually just doing photography in the day. I take that off if I'm using it on the tripod. So that sits in the top here, and the beauty of this bag is you've actually got a quick release here, so you can actually just take the zips down slightly and pull the bag out, pull the camera out just like that, which is really handy. Some of the other things that I will take with me, and there's always a lot. Here I have my Atomos Shinobi. This is a field monitor, and it's really, really useful for attaching to the top of the camera and giving you a much, much better quality display. You get all sorts of things like peaking and zebras and all the sorts of paraphernalia that videographers really need when they're shooting. And that just slides really nicely in there, out of the way. Got a couple of batteries which will sit in the front. These are regular Sony NP style batteries, and of course a little dual charger that works off of micro USB as well, so that will go with me. In here we have this is a Kingston Mobilite, and what this does is it does several things. It's got an Ethernet port which allows you to connect it up and become a Wi-Fi hotspot. It's got a card reader. It's got a USB socket here which allows you to connect a hard drive, and you can also plug in your iPhone or your iPad and draw extra power from it, because it's also not particularly big but a fairly decent battery bank of about 5 megawatts per hour, whatever they call it. But it'll charge 2 iPhones full charge. And the other little thing I have here is my Samsung 1TB T5 hard drive. And this is a tiny little SSD that will plug into my iPad, and that'll come with me probably in the main bag. As with the iPad, that'll go into the back of the bag, and that plugs straight into my iPad Pro and allows me to transfer via this, which is my USB-C hub, which has a SD and a micro SD reader, a USB and USB-C readers, and I can plug this into the iPad and transfer very, very quickly, very, very easily the files from my Fuji camera. So let's have a quick look at some of the other peripherals I might be taking with me. One of the things I really love is having these little boxes, and as you saw, I have my hard drive and my dock in these little boxes. I have 2 of these that I take with me, one for the sort of hardware and another one that I put all the cables and other stuff that I might need, and chargers as well. So they all go in those, and they can pack into this bag very easily, and everything's nice and tidy and you know where everything is. So I've also got my iPad Pro, which is a fantastic bit of kit and has replaced my laptop, and as my primary computer, it edits 4K completely effortlessly. Let me just open this up. You can see I've got the Magic Keyboard here, and I've also got the pencil, which is fantastic for editing, not just photography, but when using LumaFusion video editing, it's really good for that as well. And that just pops back on the top there. These are actually Polar Pro filters for the Phantom 4 Pro. However, I found if I just wrap a little elastic band around the lens of my Osmo, they actually fit perfectly on there as well. So I've actually got a set of filters for my Osmo action camera, the one that I'm filming on at the moment, and that really, really works out nicely. Saves having to pay another £100 for some more Polar Pros. The gimbal I'll be taking with me is the Ronin SC, fantastic gimbal. Get about 12 hours of battery life out of it. It's really, really controllable. You've got an app that goes with it that works on the iPhone that allows you to control it. And for that reason, I'm actually taking my smaller tripod, which is my Manfrotto B Lite, and I'll explain why in just a moment. So this is my Manfrotto B Lite. It's a video dedicated tripod, as you can probably see from the video head at the bottom here. I don't particularly like it. It's too lightweight. I don't like the fact that these rotating locks are always jamming and that the legs don't come out very smoothly. However, it is beautifully small, and it fits either on the side of the bag, or if I take the head off, I can actually fit it inside the bag, which is really, really ideal. But because the head is not that great, what I'm actually going to do is use the Ronin SC not only as a freestanding gimbal, but also putting it on the head and using it as a video head itself. Using the app, I can get really smooth pan and tilts using this and the Ronin SC together, and they look really, really good. This is my normal tripod. It's a Manfrotto 055 carbon fiber. It's really, really light, but it's just too big. It's unwieldy when it's attached to the side of this bag, and of course when you stick a head on it, a video head or even a stills head, it becomes really rather heavy. So for this particular trip I'm going to work with the Manfrotto and the Ronin SC. So we take that off for a second. Another little box here. I use this box mainly for all my filters. You'd be surprised at how many filters I have to carry. At the bottom here I've got a set of neutral density graduated. They're high-tech format. In this one I have a Sandmark neutral density variable neutral density, which is what's needed for video. It allows me to control the video aperture much more carefully whilst maintaining the right shutter speed. These are some more high-tech formats. Mainly these are pure neutral densities. I have a 1, 2 and 3 stop plus a 6 stop neutral density, and they're square filters that will just attach to the front of the camera. A couple of other filters that I've got. This is a 10 stop or a Pro 1000 neutral density filter. I may take that, I might not. And this is my K&F Concept, also a neutral density, variable neutral density. This is a 67mm, so it fits perfectly on the 55 to 200, and I have step down rings which allow me to use it on the 14mm and the 18 to 55mm. So this is a really handy filter to take with me. That's probably about it for everything I'm taking. Obviously there's all sorts of chargers and cables. You need USB, you need USB-C, you need micro USB. I have a multi-charger that has a USB-C and USB 2, so your old USB and your new USB, which is rather handy. So that allows me to charge my iPad Pro, my X-T4 through the USB-C, and also my iPhone through the USB 2 to lightning connectors and stuff like that. And I also take with me a 4-socket block, because many of you might know that hotels are notoriously bad at providing electricity sockets, so it's well worth taking a block with you. So that was a quick rundown on some of the stuff that I'm actually going to take with me, that's myself and Tanya. I have an X-T2 as well. I haven't decided whether to take that or not. I might take it to shoot time lapses whilst I'm shooting video. I have a couple of mini tripods that I can use for that. I have various filters, and I also have a LED light that I may take. We'll see how that goes. As I said, the first part of the trip is going to be me and Tanya together, so it's not going to be work related. I'm not going to be shooting for stock or anything like that. My plan is to continue my Glimpses of series with a Glimpses of Lviv, just wandering the city, enjoying ourselves, and then when I come back and stay on the city on my own, it will be predominantly for shooting stock video for the stock libraries. So I hope you've enjoyed this short video on what I'm taking with me. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed the video, to give me a thumbs up, and if you've really enjoyed the video, a subscription would be lovely, and we hope to see you as the trip progresses. That's me for now. Paka and goodbye.